Welcome to the Raw Dogger Sportscast Live. I am Sean Watson. It is with me always is Ryan Kessler. What's up?
Gang, what's up?
Love the throwback jacket. Love that.
Yeah,
What's on the patch right there? Let's see if I can see that.
It's the season ticket member.
Oh, man.
I think I got this in 21, 22 maybe.
Okay.
Remember.
Was that like part of the package that came with your season tickets? It was like that came along with it?
Yep.
It reminds me of the one they were giving out for the Raiders like a few years ago.
Oh, the Raiders get cool shit.
Yeah, they do.
Dad has the flag that I got the one year, and I can't remember what I got. It was basically this. I got the flag, and I think one year we got, which was, I guess, kind of convenient. We got the mobile NFL Red Zone. I couldn't stream it to my TV, so if I wanted to watch anything, I had to watch it on my fucking phone. But that was actually worth like $1,000.
Really?
Or something like that. Yeah, it was kind of convenient.
Nice. Well, we are well into the NCAA men's tournament. And how's your bracket? How's it going? First off, I want to thank everybody for getting in our bracket, but
yeah. I mean, I'm in 8th place, but I still have a max point total of 153, which is still pretty high. I still have 3 out of the 4 left at possible Final Four, so not great, but not these brackets are actually fairly close. The guy that's in first place, Shabazz Williams, is doing quite well.
He is. So I have Duke as the champion. Duke playing tonight against Rick Pitino.
Right now, aren't they?
Yeah, I believe so. In St. John's. Don't know what's going on right at the moment.
They are. St. John's is up by 4.
Okay.
17 minutes left.
I think St. John's is 6.5-point dogs in that game. But not putting anything past Rick Pitino, including running a brothel in Louisville, because we know he's got experience at that. Hence his job at St. John's. But seriously, as an X and O's guy, like Rick Pitino is the man.
Right.
I mean, wherever the guy goes, he wins.
Did he never was he the coach for the Knicks there in the 90s?
Yeah, was it the Knicks or? Yeah, I think he was. Was that Melo? Was that?
No, I thought that was Patrick Ewing and those boys.
I don't know. I have to look that up.
I could be wrong.
No, I don't know. I know he was in the NBA for a bit. You know, he was in college, went to NBA for a bit, went back to college, and I guess he's kind of throwing those X's and O's out there from the NBA.
Well, St. John's is what they are as a basketball school. He's done pretty well there, though.
Yeah, you definitely don't hear anything about St. John's football. I don't even know if they have a football program.
Probably not.
Right, probably not. Probably like what's the one where they row? What the hell is that one called?
Rowing.
The rowing. Yeah, but there's something else that's there. Yeah, there's something else it's called. I can't remember what it's called. A lot of Ivy League schools like have like some kind of rowing. It's called something. What the hell is that called? Anyway, regardless, NCAA tournament in full swing tonight. After last night, I did want to bring this up. Everybody's always dogging on the Big Ten. The Big Ten, after last weekend, carried 6 teams into this weekend, 6 of the 16. And it's not just the newbies. It's not the UCLA, USC, you know, the added schools, the Oregon, all those teams are out. Right. Okay, we're talking Nebraska, Purdue, Michigan State, Illinois, Iowa. Those teams were still in. Now, Iowa and Nebraska played last night, so it was going to knock one of those teams out. And Iowa ended up winning that game. So one of them are out. But then also Purdue had a buzzer beater against Texas last night. And also Illinois kind of sticking it.
Definitely a basketball school.
Yeah, Illinois and the Balkan Five that they've kind of been renamed to their starters. Just a whole team of Jokic's, I would assume, that are on that Illinois squad. When you think about, Illinois, you definitely don't think about Eastern European players, but here we are. So 3 of those teams advanced to the Elite Eight. And tonight we have Michigan, and we also have Michigan State playing UConn tonight. So
Michigan is I thought Michigan's playing Alabama.
They are.
Okay. Yeah.
So Michigan's playing Alabama, but then Michigan State's playing UConn.
Michigan. Okay.
Yeah, Michigan State's playing UConn. So essentially, we could have, after tonight, we could have 5 of the 8 teams would be Big Ten schools. Now, usually, like I said, the Big Ten doesn't have a great track record when it comes to NCAA tournament. I don't know if this is a one-off, but the silver lining about all this is the fact that if Iowa State takes care of Tennessee and Michigan takes care of Alabama, the SEC, with all the NIL money they decided to go ahead and pump into their basketball program because they can't win at football, will have 0 teams left.
Do you think this NIL improves Big Ten basketball as well?
I don't know if it – I feel like the SEC, that's kind of what they were going for. Like they were trying to –
they're already paying all of their players anyway. So.
Yeah, true. I think the NIL, the effect that it's going to have on basketball in general, when you're talking about college basketball, is the fact that you're going to be able to possibly keep starters longer into the college career, I should say.
Right.
Because
which I think it's a good thing.
It is a good thing. That whole thing with the one and dones.
Yeah.
That's kind of be over. We saw that with Calipari in Kentucky, right?
Yeah, to me, you should either go straight out of high school or you have to be there for 3 years.
100%. And I've always been an advocate. I don't care if you can play in the NBA when you're in 6th grade. If you think you can do it, go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead. But yeah, I feel like the NIL actually might kind of help the college basketball landscape, just because, a player that would maybe be a one and done player, let's say they're getting paid, $500,000, at a Power 4 school, may decide to go ahead and stay. And I think that's actually going to help college basketball.
Yeah.
As it progresses.
Well, and that just, for me, college basketball got to the point where it's like, you don't know any of these teams year to year. It's just completely, there's no continuity. Like, play to your junior year. If you want to go out after that, go. If not, play, stay your senior year. I think that gives the sport a better product, and I think it'll make a lot of these guys that shouldn't be leaving after 1 year, you know what I mean? Like, stay, improve your game, try to go win something in college before you get to the pros.
Kyrie Irving, probably one of the more
4 games.
Huh?
Didn't he play like 4 or 5 games?
Yeah, at Duke, right?
Yeah.
Then he goes to the NBA, and it's because the NCAA has this stupid ass rule that keeps them in the money.
Right.
That says you at least have to have 1 year of college under your belt before you go pro.
Right.
This is pre LeBron James, Sean Kemp, Kevin Garnett, or post, I should say.
Yeah.
Those guys were all pre this rule.
Kobe,
another one. So
yeah, because those guys are few and far between, and when they're ready, they're ready.
Right.
And then you have everyone else. It's like, I think that could destroy some careers. You come out too early when you could go to a program and refine your game, whatever needs refinement, seeing that level of basketball, getting the IQ up, learning more about the game, all that good stuff before you just get thrown into an NBA roster. I do think it'll probably affect the G League, though, because a lot of these guys are going to come out when they should, instead of beforehand, just to go there and make money. You know what I mean?
Right. Well,
which who gives a shit about the G
you
League?
get well. I was about to say that. I mean, you watch a lot of G League summer basketball. I mean, I don't. I watch
And they'll still have it. That's just a pipeline.
Yeah. But instead of those players going to the G League, they could stay in college and propel the,
and just get used to the spotlight and everything.
Yeah.
Because you're playing at St. John's or you're playing at Illinois, or you get in the tournament. Like that's an experience. That's growth. Right.
But I also feel like the years of the mid majors, and if you look at the Sweet 16 right now, those years where you're going to have some more of those Cinderella teams that are going to make deeper runs, it's going to be fewer and far between. But the trade-off is you're going to get better college basketball, especially when it comes down to March Madness in this tournament. Right? I mean,
right? You'll still get those though, because even back, Tim Duncan played 4 years. Like even back when you had to play 3 years or whatever, there were still some of those Cinderella teams. It just depends on.
I'm just saying now.
Some of these teams gel at the right time. Right.
I'm just saying now because the NIL money. Take the kid from Indiana State, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kareem, Cream, goes to St. Louis because they have deeper pockets as far as NIL money. So he leaves there and goes ahead and goes to St. Louis University.
Right.
And so then that Indiana State squad is like kind of done. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, some of the player movement
suffer.
Yeah, the player movement stuff's going to hinder that, or going to hinder that a little bit too. They need to figure that out in football and basketball. One thing that, all this NIL stuff jumped the gun, and it was far beyond, like, they needed to be doing this anyway, but they brought it out and didn't really have any good regulation involved. Where these guys play 4 years of college football and they play for 4 different teams. It's like,
right. So, or is that what you're bringing up right now? And I think I know what you're getting at is there needs to be somebody in place that the NCAA kind of rules over this whole NIL and the player movement. There has to be, they got to put somebody in place, right?
Yeah. And
rules.
And honestly, they should have, to me, you should have one transfer opportunity. After that, you have to wait a year.
Mm-hmm.
They should just have rules like that to make it a little more, competitively easier for these coaching staffs. I mean, I would hate to be a college coach. Like if I was a college coach that's getting offered NFL jobs, I get the hell out of there. Their whole job is recruiting, and then you have to recruit the players that you already have constantly.
Right.
If they're not getting the snaps, like that puts a lot of strain. But I mean, they're making the money, but I don't know. It just seems a little wild to me.
Right.
Especially these kids are on contracts. You know what I mean? So.
Right, and hence Alabama Jones, as Shane Gillis would put it, Nick Saban getting out why he got out, or getting out why the getting was good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, when you're paying them under the table.
Right. And then all of a sudden it's just no holds barred. Everybody's paying anybody, and everybody can get anybody depending on the kind of donors you have or whatever.
Well, and let's be honest, all the big money's in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger the school, the better the money you're going to get back in from, the guys go out and become lawyers and all that bullshit.
Right.
So,
quick story, side note. I was out today running around, had to go and fill up almost $50 on my wife's 4-cylinder vehicle. Fantastic. But as I was walking into the Circle K after filling up, a guy, and it had to be a $75,000 truck, probably a Denali. Okay. No, and he's parked up there. And the colors of the truck it's scarlet. Well, it's gray with some scarlet trim. But all on every single window are Michigan stickers. I come out and the guy's coming out about the same time, and I'm like, hey, nice truck. Did you consider the color before you went ahead and bought that? Because it looks.
Did he lose a bet?
Yeah, it looks to me like you're not an Ohio State fan.
So you live in Orville or something, or Shelby?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to fork out that kind of money for a truck, and then you just have to put shit stains all over it.
Yeah, you're going to put shit all over it?
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't seem. If you're going to pay that much money for a truck, and then
did it cost $25,000 more to get like maize and blue on the truck instead of the scarlet and gray?
Just get a black one.
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
And I wish it would have taken a picture of it. I could have put it up for you, but at the time, just some crazy shit. So
right, bad vibe. That dude's definitely carrying. If you would have pulled out your phone. You guys hold
right.
that truck.
Want to talk a little Tiger Woods?
Yes.
Okay. Breaking news just this afternoon in Jupiter, Florida, home of Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods is back in the news. Once again, Tiger Woods in an automobile accident in his Range Rover in and around Jupiter, Florida. Yeah, it's so good. Show him the picture. So apparently here's what happened. Tiger Woods was driving. Yeah. Oof.
Like a glove.
Tiger Woods was driving in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. Was trying to get around a truck that had a sprayer attached to the back. Trying to pass him. Clipped the trailer. What is that?
So definitely can't park there.
Yeah. Clipped the trailer. Immediately went down on the side of his Range Rover.
Right in front of the fire hydrant. That's perfect.
And is that him like standing there? I can't tell if that's him or not.
That's what I was thinking earlier.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Probably should have put the Brian Jordan on that dude.
Looks like he's already done 18 rounds by 3 p.m. About
so
16 Miller Lights.
Yeah. This is 3:00 this afternoon. It's been all over ESPN. The stories have all been coming out about it. They went ahead. I guess there's a law in Florida that says there's a minimum of 8 hours of jail time due to any kind of traffic accident such as this. He did pass a breathalyzer test, blew a 0, but refused a urinalysis test. And if you think back to like the 2009, 2017, it all came because of these painkillers that he was on, right?
Right.
I mean, I know they had that whole incident with him and Elon and the whole golf club that's going through the window. Remember when that all happened out in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Palisades. Yeah. So
I just love how it also kind of looks like he did that in front of a church.
But you're thinking about
it. In the background.
It's 30-mile-per-hour zone, right? And you're trying to pass a truck with a trailer and a sprayer.
Yeah, I wish there was a better angle. I don't see like any skid marks or anything either.
Well, I guess the whole one side of it, obviously they pulled it over. It's pretty much done. But he wasn't injured. Probably not going to be playing in the Masters. So, spoiler alert.
Well, America 2026, we don't give a shit about anything. So,
I mean, this is passe news tonight.
The pendulum has swung.
Yes. So I don't know what's going to happen there as far as him refusing a urinalysis test. I don't know how.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume it's
Florida.
Try popping pills again. I mean,
absolutely had to be.
Or he had a nice gummy.
Something.
Accidentally popped 100 milligrams. He's freaking out.
Or he's loading his jaw like I am with a whole can of Zens. That might do it.
Come back as methamphetamines.
Right. All right. Let's get on to some NFL news.
All right.
Browns this week went ahead and restructured Myles Garrett's contract, specifically his bonus money. So, which that'll be over the next 3 seasons. So, how the rule works is the bonus money is supposed to be, the teams have until 15 days after the NFL New Year. So that would have been this past Wednesday, March 25th, which is when this restructure happened. So what the Browns did was they went ahead and moved it not only this year, but also the next 2 years until 7 days before the actual first game is played. So 7 days. So it's going to be sometime here like late August, early September when that first game is played. So what this does is that it spreads out some more of that money. It makes it so it opens up trade partners that may not become available otherwise.
Right.
Now, Adam Schefter, and I sent you the TikTok here from McAfee that was talking to Schefter about this and how this is all going to go down. He just got wind of it on Tuesday, was on McAfee's show.
One second.
Myles Garrett's getting traded from the Cleveland Browns. Why did they do a whole new contract for Myles Garrett unless they were trying to trade him is the question that is heating up around the internet. Obviously, the internet is going to grab onto fodder and grab onto any piece of information and run however they want to run with it. But is this setting up for a Myles Garrett trade? And what exactly happened with his contract that sent everybody into an uproar?
Yeah, well, here's what happened, okay? And again, I got a call on Tuesday night. A team called me and they're like, hey, all right, do you see this Myles Garrett thing? I'm like, no, what? They said his option bonuses were shifted around. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, well, if you're shifting option bonuses around, usually there's like some trade smoke. Now, let me say this. Right away, I called the Browns. I'm like, what's going on here? And they're like, we are 100% definitely not trading him. I'm like, okay. Now, I will say this. They were adamant about it. And they're like, don't even bring it up and dignify the fact, because we're not trading him.
Shout out us then. Just bring it up. Shout out us, dude. Yeah, sorry about it.
Well, hold on. So the great part is, it comes out, of course, Field the 8 sees it, other people see it, that the contract language was modified, and everybody makes the conclusion that other teams also drew. Oh, something's going on. Now, here's what I would say. Again, all I can say is that the Browns were adamant to me, we are not trading Myles Garrett. This was not done to trade Myles Garrett. This was done to give us more cap flexibility. I'm just telling you, and they couldn't have been stronger about it. But that's not going to discourage other people from wondering and speculating, could he be traded? And again, I'm just telling you, they told me no.
We do know there's a couple things that are certainly worthy of a conversation. Myles Garrett's getting traded from the Cleveland Browns.
Those restarting.
Yeah. So essentially, because they're pushing that bonus money down, kicking it down the road, it's going to open up trade possibilities in the trade talks. Now, just a year ago, we were talking about this. Myles Garrett on, Super Bowl Media Row, and he put it in writing that he wanted to go ahead and be traded. So what say you? What do we think? Is there smoke here? Is there fire where there's smoke?
I think they're going to leave every option available.
Mm-hmm.
I heavily doubt that there's going to be a trade for Myles
this year.
This may open up opportunity maybe for next year if what they're trying to do this year doesn't work out. I mean, then you might be in a situation where you're tearing it more down to the studs. I just don't see that, because everything's pointing to me with what they did in free agency, what we have in the draft here, that they're going to try to build something to be competitive. Whether or not that works out or not, yet to be seen.
Mm.
But next year could be a possibility that they'll pull that trigger. And even him he's going to be what, 31 next year?
Yeah, it's going to be.
You're still going to get a haul.
31 this year.
Yeah, and this also might be to give you more space to trade somebody else, like a Jerry Jr. or something like that. In my opinion, I wouldn't look too much into it. And there might still be some things out free agency that they want to do, and they're opening up some space, because a lot of this cap's going to be dropped off, not once Deshaun's gone.
Correct. So, unless some reason they extend him because he goes on a run and wins the job, right?
Right. And when you open up that space for this year, that also carries over for your cap space next year.
Right.
So they love pushing shit down the road, and that you got to do that because the cap just keeps going up and up and up.
Right.
The cap's going to keep inflating unless unless the whole economy tanks, which is very possible.
Sure. If ifs and buts.
Right.
We still.
So I'm not seeing them making that trade unless they get their boots absolutely knocked off. And you're going to have multiple first round picks, players in return for that.
Correct.
Because you have all the leverage. And he's not out there being vocal about being traded.
But he was.
He was.
Until the Browns went ahead and made him the highest paid defensive player in the league. Right.
And, in my opinion, yeah, you keep your options open, you keep your ear to the ground, but I think they're good at what, Andrew Berry's best at is the cap flexibility stuff. So I think they want to be flexible, and, maybe they have their eyes on someone out there, even the Brandon Ayuk, that's going to have to be a trade possibility, right?
Yeah, but didn't Ayuk? I thought Ayuk he just went to somebody.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah.
But they could have their eyes on somebody, and they're gonna, they're seeing that they might need to have a little more cap space open just to to sign somebody they trade for, whatever, and have plenty of flexibility in this draft. So.
Okay. So you're saying, you're saying it is only for flexibility, like Schefter was reporting on McAfee.
Yeah.
But you can see how this is really getting the media stirred up here.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you take the call?
Right. And maybe they did it also secondarily so that they could just kind of shop it and see what the market would be.
Sure.
And what they would buy.
Yeah, you take all that information in, because I don't think that market changes much for next year.
Would you be willing to make the trade depending on the offer, and what would that offer be?
I would have to get, so you're either going to have to get 2 first rounders and probably a couple of, maybe a first round and a third, fourth in following years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd almost want the Dallas thing. That would make sense. You get 2 first round picks, but there's not really an edge rusher in this draft, and you don't really have, other than Miles, a guy that's the guy. You have Alex Wright, good players, and I think complements well having Miles on that line. Mm-hmm. But as soon as you take him out of that defense, I think a lot of what you do on defense changes.
Right.
Because, that's why. Look at the last 8 games. Nobody wanted to give up a sack to that guy.
No.
So your entire defensive play, game planning work would change. I would not make the trade, but for them to actually do it, it would have to be a haul. I'm wanting a 1A wide receiver, and
probably 2 1s
and 2 1s.
Right. That's kind of where I am now. The only thing, as Miles gets older and it starts to go into the 27 or 28, depending on what Miles does, it's going to, those trade options are going to get.
Well, I think this trade window is going into next year. It's still going to be there because Miles. I mean, it kind of looks like a guy like Von Miller who's going to be highly productive into his late 30s.
Yeah, and barring any serious injury,
which he hasn't. He's been nicked up a couple times, but he's never had a major injury.
Correct. But I do feel like, barring that injury, I agree with you on that. But I've talked about this before. I mean, his trade value is never going to be higher than what it is now. And if you want to go ahead and make that move,
I don't see it getting depleted very much within the next year to two.
Okay.
Unless he drops off, but I don't. To me, he's just now hitting his peak.
Is there any possibility that because of everything that happened with the whole Schwartz situation and all that, like Miles has went to the front office and said, "Hey, I want to get out of here again. What can we do?" And they've decided to go ahead and make this move so they can at least start, like you said, you got your ear to the ground.
Build the leverage.
Yeah.
I feel like if he would have done that, it'd been more public because he's not one to keep his mouth shut.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I don't see that being the case. And I mean, like I said, I've liked what they've done this offseason. They didn't have all the money in the world to go out there and get top, high-end free agents, but they built where they needed to build, and you're going into this draft with a lot of options. So I don't see why he could be that angry.
Yeah. Unless, it said that unless that Schwartz thing's still just weighing on his mind.
I mean, really? It's not like he can go play for Schwartz somewhere else.
No, but I'm just saying if he feels like that was just a done dirty kind of deal, and hey, I still feel as if the Cleveland Browns are a ways away, and I think I want to go and play for a contender before
I signed that contract though.
I'm sorry,
he just signed that contract though.
I know.
I think he's going to give it another year. I think he's going to give it another. I think next offseason, if this is a shit show where they're 5-12 or 6-11, and it doesn't look good, and none of the questions we have about the team are answered, then I could see him being very vocal, and I would, that'd be the first thing I would do would be to get what you can get back out of him and start the complete rebuild.
Okay. All right.
Do you think that there's smoke?
I think there's a small fire there. I mean, I feel as if I feel like the Browns have done this. I think they have done it for cap flexibility, and that's true. But I also feel I don't 100% agree with what the Browns are telling Schefter. And just like you were saying,
I don't believe the 100% either. But I don't think that they're.
I feel they're also testing the market for him.
Like I said, I think they're gathering information off of that, but they're also getting the cap relief so that they can have more to spend next year, which what I think they're looking at to really go out and get a guy or two that could, be a splash.
Okay. Yeah, because just like you said, the Watson shit's going to fall off pending any miraculous,
right.
Run that he may have.
We randomly get 2020 Deshaun Watson. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then they signed him again. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there is. I feel there's a little bit there. There's a match fire. There's a little bit there. The rest of it's a lot of smoke, probably.
Someone took a shit and had to light a match.
Yeah. Like the flame is like the size of a match. But I definitely think there's something there. I think that Andrew Berry and the Browns front office definitely wants to find out what kind of market there is. And then also they're seeing what, potentially Max Crosby and like that deal that was going to go down. They're like, well, wait a minute. We got Myles Garrett. The Ravens who feel like, there may be a defensive end away. And then you think about the San Francisco 49ers maybe. You think about
Dallas.
you think about the Rams. You think about the Bears, who really need that defensive end. And I hate to say it, but you think about the Ravens. Now, I don't want them to trade him in the division, but
no, if they were trading him to the Ravens, I want 4 of their first round picks and 3 of their second round picks.
Yeah.
And I would still be very angry about it.
Right. And I want Vontae Mack because I fucking feel like it.
Yep.
100%. 100%. But yeah, I just feel like the teams that are, at least that they feel like they're a player away, or maybe that defensive end, pass disruptor away. Those are the teams that are making calls right now to Cleveland, and you damn well know that that's going on. And I think that was part of the whole plan to this. It wasn't just the cap flexibility, but I think it was also that.
Well, yeah, and I think they want to have that information, because then if you go into next year and you're like, we need to tear this thing down to the studs, you kind of have a starting off point.
Right. And, you think about San Francisco, I think more like the Rams or the Bears. Like the Rams or the Bears are the two that I feel that are not in conference. The Rams have already made a push. They've got some of that secondary. They've got some of those problems solved with what they did with Kansas City, in those draft picks. And I feel Matt Stafford's not getting any younger. And if Sean McVay wants to make this push again, Myles Garrett could be the guy. The problem is now the Rams, because they've already traded one of those ones away, they only have the one left this year if it was going to happen this year.
Yeah, and I'm not making that trade if I'm not getting the one this year.
Correct. But
Plus I'm getting
Rams, right. But would the Rams be willing to do that, though? I think they would.
Oh, yeah.
What is that pick? 27, 28? I mean, I don't have it right in front of me, but I think they would do it.
Yeah. Well, and I think the Bears want it desperately.
Yeah.
That I've been hearing, I've seen some rumors about that trade for 12 months.
Right. Yeah, I actually watched a guy that's kind of a Chicago Bears daily guy. And he's already put out another video about all this that's happened since Wednesday. I was watching his stuff too. So I don't know. I hope we're right. I don't want to see Myles go. I mean, you got a Hall of Famer in the building. The guy's going to be in the Ring of Honor someday. Don't want to see it, but yeah. All right. Moving on. Let's move on to the newest Puka Nacua story. First off, I want to find out. Okay. So apparently he was out at a New Year's party out in LA somewhere, and I can't remember the exact place it was. Regardless, he's been alleged that he was shouting out anti-Semitic slurs. Okay. And he went ahead and bit this lady per allegations.
Yeah, I seen the picture of the bite marks.
Yeah. So first his lawyer came out and said, no, there's nothing to this. Then a day later it happened. TMZ broke the story and they're like, okay, the biting probably happened, but the anti-Semitic slurs didn't. Now, Nacua's already had some of these anti-Semitic things kind of trailing in behind him, right? The whole Aiden Ross situation, if you don't know what that is, go ahead and look that up. What do you think? What is he the new
Aiden Ross,
AB?
who's also Jewish, made him do that?
Is this guy the new AB? I mean, I hate to see it happen to him. What is he, 24 years old?
Yeah, I can't be any older than that.
And Jackson Smith and Jigba just got the biggest contract in NFL history for a wide receiver, and Nacua's like, the Rams like, I don't know.
Please release him.
Please.
If we can trade 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson, we can surely sign a guy that was yelling anti-Semitic slurs.
I mean, I'm not all about that.
And get it on the cheap.
My biggest question to you was, is he the new AB? Is he, the new PNC?
I don't know. I think AB's a little. I don't know how to describe it without using certain language, but I mean, AB went off the deep end. This Puka stuff, it almost seems like it's kind of like people were pissed off about him last year with the Aiden Ross stuff, and then he probably got loud and obnoxious at a New Year's party, and then somebody in the crowd, usual suspect here, is going to try to take him down for everything he's worth and shame the guy.
And I just want to throw that out. These are still just allegations. And
Right.
but just like you said, you've already seen pictures of the bite marks. I mean,
but who's to say those are him?
True.
This
is true.
Who just bites somebody?
Right. This is very true.
I got to see this thing all the way through.
Yeah, I do too. But also, I mean, this is the first time we've seen Puka Kanua, just like you said, the Aiden Ross deal. Also, basically, and probably something we can all get behind, basically blaming the Chiefs' downfall on Taylor Swift. I mean, where's the lie?
I mean,
then I guess he went in and he was trying to fish around for Sydney Sweeney a little bit. Then he retracted it and said that, oh, I didn't realize that she already had a boyfriend. I mean, he's perpetually going down this AB road.
Hey, I'm here. I stand with Puka. So
I stand with Puka. We need to get some shirts. We need to get. I stand with Puka.
A jersey. Yes.
Okay.
Well, and he hasn't even got paid yet.
Exactly. That was my point. I mean, he's gonna get paid. He should get paid. But if you keep doing this kind of shit,
LA, how could you pay an anti-Semitic person? Please let him rehabilitate himself in Cleveland.
Please. We'll take him.
I will take him immediately.
Yeah.
Dude, if they released him, there would be 31 teams calling him.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. But pipe dreams.
Always.
The Rams not doing it. We're probably going to do a little bit of in-house rehabilitation. Did you see the one? I don't know if I did that. Yeah, I did. I threw it out on the Crying Jordan meme, but I took the guy from or Ed Norton in American History X and I put it on Nakua. Did I send you that? Yeah, I cropped it over.
I think you might have texted me that.
Oh man, this just screams. All right. Last story I kind of want to bring up. This is earlier in the week. Apparently, there's a professional cornhole player. When I first saw this story, he's a quadriplegic. Now, the first thing I thought of was, the whole thing without the arms, legs, bob in the water. Now, I'm not getting down on quadriplegics here, but I do want to bring up the fact that he has been allegedly he has decided to shoot a guy in the car and murdered him in the car. And then I was thinking to myself, how did this happen? And because I'm thinking of, yeah. So here's the story. This is ABC News Live. Go ahead.
A quadruple amputee, and now he's facing murder charges. That's just one of the top headlines that we're tracking for you this hour. Champion cornhole player Dayton Weber is accused of shooting a passenger in his car during an argument. Investigators say 2 witnesses were in the back seat and called police. He's now awaiting extradition from Maryland to Virginia and has not entered a plea. When interviewed for an ESPN profile back in 2023, Weber said that he hoped people took away from his story that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. He's a cornhole champion, a quadruple.
They had to put that in there at the end. ABC's just straight savage.
So there's a YouTube video of this guy, and I'm like, anything is possible.
Right. Well,
how is the guy pulling? So he has his own YouTube video that's out there. Yeah. Did you see it?
No,
I'll have to put it out there. I should have said
I was even pull the trigger.
So, in his defense, when he was a baby, he had some kind of sepsis, some kind of blood poisoning, whatever, and they had to amputate. Very, very sad. Okay, and I 100% agree that it's very sad. But that gets all thrown out the window when I find out that you decide to go ahead and use your Glock and shoot a guy that's in a car, and you're a professional cornhole player. And I know there has to be something there also that I haven't thought of. the whole cornhole thing and the George Carlin bit just keeps popping up in my head.
Well, this is like that Oscar Pistorius dude,
Yeah.
the legless runner.
Great point. I love that. I even think of it.
Why is it always
screams Oscar?
Well, and why is this always the amputees that are just fucking shooting people in like the most obvious way? I want to know how he pulled the trigger.
Well, and you need to look at the YouTube video. He's actually on a range and he's shooting this. He's like shooting this. It looked like a 9 to me.
Can I look it up on YouTube?
Yeah, look it up on YouTube. Look up what's the guy's name again? It is Dayton James Weber. Dayton James Weber. Look it up on YouTube. See if we can bring that up.
Yep, that immediately pops up.
Perfect. Can you put it up on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Surfaced video is gaining attention after the arrest of a Charles County murder suspect. The footage appears to show 27-year-old Dayton James Weber demonstrating how he loads and fires a handgun, despite being a quadruple amputee. In the video, he uses his arms and body to operate the weapon and fire multiple rounds. The clip is now circulating online as Weber faces murder charges tied to a March 22nd shooting. A resurfaced video is gaining attention after the arrest.
I'm sorry.
I don't believe any of this. I honestly, we're living in a fucking AI world. Right? Any of this.
So, do you think that video was made after the alleged shooting?
I don't believe any of it. I don't think this guy's a real person.
Huh?
There's no way that this is real. All of this is just perfect.
I'm sorry.
Holy shit.
Because then,
hey,
the first
anything is possible.
Anything is possible. But the first thing I thought of too was this guy has to have like some kind of hook, right? I mean, he has to have like
a nub. There's got to be a little nub at the end of that.
Yeah, it has to have like a hook. Like hell no, the guy is like better with a handgun than I am.
Right. He's sitting there loading it and shit. Like
yeah, just absolutely.
That dude's a problem. That dude is a problem. He's gonna have a bunch of problems once he gets to lockup. He's a problem outside of it. God, I would not want to be him in prison. Oh,
I didn't even think about that. Is that a top or bottom monk guy?
That's wherever the other guy wants him to be guy.
I mean, if the guy drops the soap in the shower, I mean, are you going down there or?
He's already down there.
That's what I mean.
He's just going to replace the actual cot in there and be the. Dude, that's made for comedy right there. If somebody just make a fucking movie about this, Hollywood, stop giving me bullshit movies.
Right.
Give me this. This
right.
is what we need.
Stop,
I need
national
lamp. I need
stop
national
regurgitating
lamp
bullshit.
Right.
And give us. Yeah, I 100%. I'm with you. Oh,
that is great.
All right.
Like.
I'm gonna have tonight.
Well, you know that when they're in that vehicle, like somebody was just talking mad shit to him.
Absolutely.
It probably just went over the line with the amputee bullshit. Ah.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to find out. We're gonna have to follow up with this story and find out, like, okay, number one, did it actually happen? Okay. Number two, was the guy what's his name? Dayton? James Dayton? Dayton James Weber, sorry.
There's always.
I mean, he
there's always
sounds like a serial killer now.
Yeah, sounds like an asshole.
He sounds like the guy that was in the library there in Dallas.
Yeah. The repository.
Yeah. Oh shit, man! I'm sorry,
dude. Yeah, if he didn't get caught now, he was definitely gonna be the next one to take out a president.
Yeah,
and probably get away with it.
Right. Not only that, but he's a professional cornhole player. I mean,
well, he could just take him out and then just get right into a book backpack.
You know what they should have done? I should have hired this guy to throw flashbangs. Think about that. I mean, he can put him anywhere he wants to. And then if he doesn't, he can shoot you with his nub.
Right. Or you could just hire him to throw him at Target, like on what the hell, that Wolf of Wall Street, where they get the midgets. Oh, that's
all right. You got anything
Thank you,
else?
ABC. No. Thank you, ABC, for finally reporting some news that matters.
Yes, thank you, ABC. I appreciate it.
No, we've had some decent viewing numbers here. So thanks everyone for stopping by.
Yeah,
this is pretty hilarious. Just a nice little break from the football season. We got March Madness going on. Everyone's
What's the score updates on that? What's going on right now?
Oh, Duke's up by 3 with 11 seconds left.
Wow. Okay.
1 second left now.
Okay.
I would assume that's a Duke win, and Michigan is now up 10 on Bama.
I got St. John's plus 6.5. That was the spread. So barring any overtime situation, well, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Right. Okay. Michigan's up by 10. 12 minutes left though. That's high scoring game, 70-60 with 12 left.
With 12 left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be triple digits.
So we're going to knock out Alabama, and then hopefully Iowa State's going to go ahead and take care of Tennessee tonight. And then the SEC is going to be done. All right.
Yeah, and I don't know, did the Tribe win last night? It was opening day, wasn't it?
Yeah, they
we
did
it.
Huh?
We did it.
Yeah. We did it.
And they're opening up with the National League. I hate that. I miss interleague play, having that at a specific time of the year.
I thought they were playing Seattle. I thought they started with Seattle. Or are you talking about their home opener?
I thought they were playing. You could be right. I thought they were playing the NL. Or no, I'm sorry. I was watching something. I think the Phillies were playing somebody in the American League. I don't like that the DH is in the National League now.
You know what? Let's just talk about this right now. And I am a baseball fan. I am a baseball fan too. I start to lose more interest in baseball as the years go on. Not only incredibly long season, which it's not going to get any shorter, but we might as well just go ahead and get on our soapbox right now. And at least I am. It's kind of like, okay, welcome to opening day until, the Dodgers in the World Series again.
Yeah. The Dodgers and the Yankees and the Rangers and all these big Metro teams. That's exploded since the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
Like there's just in the central divisions, you have like the White Sox, they got a deeper pocket. Cubs have a deeper pocket. But, is Milwaukee ever going to be able to put together a team that can really compete like that year in, year out? Anybody out of the AL Central? I mean, I think the Royals won one since 2000, and Chicago won one. That's about it, right?
Right.
Detroit might have won one.
No, the
Yeah.
Detroit.
I mean, until they do something with it doesn't even have to be like the salary cap like the NFL. Like, they just need to have it to where these smaller market teams have at least the ability to have a ceiling or a bottom, like what they need.
A floor.
Floor, yeah.
A salary cap floor.
Like,
right?
The Indians, it's insane.
Right.
They can't put a $100 million payroll together.
Well, not like the Dolans would anyway.
Well, there should be some sort of profit sharing that happens that can enable that.
Yeah.
Because it pisses me off because they were so close a couple years ago. Like, you really only needed another bat, maybe another, an ace starter. And you could put that team, in a 7-game series, who knows? But they just they're not going to break through, until they have a magic, where they pull in guys via trade like they did in the early 90s and draft the right guys where you have a 3-year window. And I mean, you had that with Lindor and that, but they still had $140 million payroll.
Right.
You're still going out and getting Encarnacion and Miller, the pitcher, that left-hander. I mean, like, they were able to go out and actually pay some guys. Until they do that, it's just a joke.
Well,
I feel bad for Jose, but I mean, he's making that decision. So
yeah, and
he's doing it at a discount, so you can't even do him the solid enough to build something around him that can compete.
Right.
Don't have to go out there and spend $300 million, but just the bare minimum.
Right.
And when's the last year that they brought in anyone in free agency? Anyone with like over $20 million a year payroll? I think it was Encarnacion.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And that was 2018, 2017?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they still get, they get enough people in them stands for where baseball's at right now. And I think once they destroyed the whole National League stuff, I think that hurt the game. And messing around with the All-Star break stuff, home run derby's kind of a joke to me now anymore. And, having these guys throw 105 miles an hour for 5 innings and having 17 relievers come in, I think that I don't know. I don't like that they sped the game up either.
I don't like
baseball's baseball,
Right.
Football is a contact sport, so a lot of that's going to be, it's still exciting. You got big plays, big hits, whatever. Obviously, we want some of the pussified rules gone. And they could regulate that down to the point where it starts to become clown world. But it seems like they're staying on the edge where that is now. But yeah, I don't know. It sucks because it's a long season. But I remember coming home, as a kid, whatever, I'd watch 80% of the games. It was awesome to have that on at night,
Right. Well, and now that with all these different streaming services and stuff too, that makes it more difficult.
And they make it impossible to watch the Indians.
Yeah.
All the small market teams, like, it's hard to even get them on a regular basis unless they're on ESPN for Sunday night or whatever.
Well, and it goes, well, you heard about what's happened on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball, right? It's being replaced by WNBA and women's sport on Sunday Night Baseball. Yeah, they already talked about it. It's going to happen.
So are they doing that because that's going to make them more money? Or are they doing that because
I really don't know why they're doing it, but yeah, just came out a couple of weeks ago and talked about
there's
that.
No way they're getting more eyeballs on WNBA than they are.
That should just show you, though, where baseball is going. I mean, if you're baseball, okay, the lockout that just happened. And the reason the Major League Baseball Players Association, and they're just as guilty of this as the ownership. And I understand you're representing the players, But you have to believe you just
the NFLPA ruins a lot of the shit too.
Yeah, but you have to look at your ratings. You're slipping.
Yeah, where's the money going? I want to know where the money's coming in from even for the LA, New York markets, for them to be spending the money that they're doing, because it's not like if you look at their attendance numbers, they're not much better than what we have in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Now they have trademark stuff and they make a lot of money on their, on jerseys and stuff like that. But it's like, dude, that can only go so far. And I think the ticket prices for to get to a Yankees game, even to get nosebleed, it's like $250.
Yeah.
Who can afford that?
Well, I just heard a stat about this. I was listening to another pod earlier today, and they were talking about just a regular season Dodgers baseball game for a family of 4. Okay, your 2 parents, 2 kids, family of 4, regular
and
game.
You got to get there alive. You got to get there alive.
Yeah, during the day, $478.
Well,
that's 2 drinks a piece. That's like a beer piece for the parents, and then a soda for the kids.
And that's not even like a hot dog or
no.
That's insane.
$478.
I remember
That's not
my dad,
counting the parking.
Right. And that's insane there.
Yeah.
I remember even we'd go up there in the 90s. I remember my dad bitching about we'd have awesome right by first or third seats. And they were like $30, $35 a piece. Yeah. He was bitching about that. You imagine.
Oh.
Which I haven't been there in a few years, but the Indians games are still pretty reasonable, and you can get bleacher seats for $20.
Oh yeah.
These bigger markets, it's insane, and they have to do that. How else are they gonna? I don't understand how they make enough money to pay for all that, the taxes and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy, and you're making this money. Can I throw this out there? If you're gonna, and you see these promotions for family nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to grow the game back? Make it affordable for a family of 4 to go.
Right.
Do something. And I'm not talking about a Sunday kids get to run the bases shit, or you get to chase Mr. Freeze around the track. I'm not talking about that. Make it so you guys have so much fucking money. All these TV rights, all the streamings, all that shit, and all that money that's coming in from there, and you can't have it so that you can run an actual good special to get the smaller kids to get them to the ballpark.
Right.
Because there's definitely something to be said about experiencing Jacobs Field, Progressive Field, whatever you want to call it, live. There's just something about it.
Well, when we used to go there, I don't remember seeing this for a very long time. You used to be able to go in there and they'd have you could throw a pitch and they'll gun it or whatever, give you your miles per hour. They had games and stuff that you could do. It was all baseball related.
Mm-hmm.
They always had tables and stuff out, and they'd hand shit out to the kids, and it was just a completely different environment than it is now. Everything is very corporatized now.
Right. And my oldest son, I just found this out today, that he's going to get to take a field trip and actually go to a Indians game. That's coming up. So that's kind of cool, because I've taken him to a Clippers game, both my boys, and
I've been down there.
Yeah, that new Huntington Park, it's so much nicer.
Well, I went down there when they were still the Yankees farm team.
Yeah. Well, that over at the old Clippers Stadium.
Yeah,
because that place was an absolute shithole.
Well, it was in a fucking parking lot, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hell, they used to give me free tickets to go there if I got straight A's for the quarter or use some shit like that. Okay.
Yeah, I think they were $5 to get in the game or something like that.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But it was cool. I think when we went down there to watch, that was when it was the Yankees farm team. I think that was probably 2010. I'm trying to think, because we've seen a couple of guys that ended up being pretty decent in the league.
Yeah.
I can't remember who we've seen now, but that's the cool part about going to Clippers or Akron Arrows and stuff like that.
Well, when I took them to go see the Rubber Ducks game, so I got seats that were right behind. Garrett was so small, we were so close that he had to stand practically the whole game because the cement. We were right there.
Right.
Right behind home plate. So I took my dad and, both boys with me. We just drove up there and went to the game, and it was.
That's at like Goodyear Park or whatever it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah.
I would like to see that new Clippers thing. That'd actually be kind of
We
cool.
should do that. We should go down
Yeah.
there. I mean, if nothing else, it'd be fun. We could, I'm with you. Maybe we'll just take a drive down there. Yeah, but
we need to see the new renovations at Jacobs Field too.
Yeah.
We were doing a thing for work, but that we couldn't make it. They actually had a lot of our work buddies went up there for a game, and they said it was pretty awesome.
Okay.
They had the nice box and everything. It kind of pissed me off I couldn't go.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, all this stuff is made for people with money to go there, spend money on drinks, spend money on.
Yeah.
It's not for the experience anymore.
Yeah. And I don't know. Baseball, come on. Get with the program.
Right. I mean, they have to do something. The World Series is like, it's an afterthought.
Yeah. And you want to talk about nobody paying attention to anything until it gets down to the end. And then you're really, once again, we're down in here, and the highest paying teams are always the ones that are going to be in there again.
It's just the two markets watching it. Nobody else gives a fuck.
Which, is that what baseball?
When the Dodgers make it 7 out of 10 years, it's like.
It's what baseball wants, apparently, though.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I love the fact of having that small market team that still has a chance. In the NFL, we see this year in and year out. You see teams that are able to get in the playoffs that you didn't expect every year, right? 2 or 3 teams, at least 2.
And even in the NBA, you have things that make it to where there should be dynasties happen, teams get together and stuff like that.
Sure.
But then it's fun to watch because you got different teams going at them every year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So in the 2 other major sports, there's a lot more parity. In Major League Baseball, you'll just never have that. You'll never see the Red Sox winning 70 games 4 years in a row. But the Royals will never make the playoffs for 12 years.
And really what sucks is, being an Indians fan is the fact that we keep producing these guys and we keep making these runs, and we don't spend any money to get over that hump or actually have. And thank God we're in the Central Division. I mean, Detroit, once again, is highly favored to win the division.
Yeah, because they have some money to spend.
Yeah.
And you got to give it to Cleveland to be able to do what they do because, the last few years, I think Minnesota's been the biggest spender in the division.
Yeah.
And they really haven't done much.
Right.
But they're also not spending $300 million. They're
True.
spending the 130, 140, 150.
Right.
Yeah. Baseball, it's just the way the game's played, the different rules now. It's just.
Love baseball. Don't get me wrong.
They need to bring back the roids. We need the summer of '98 again.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Ryan. Anything else you want to bring up tonight?
No, we just ranted about baseball, which
we did.
That needed to happen.
Yeah. All right. Be certain to like, subscribe, share, and get over on our Discord. I know Ryan always he created the Discord. Get over there and check us out. And we went ahead. I know we had some people asking us to get some crying Jordans out again, a la Tiger Woods story tonight. But, send us some in our Discord. It doesn't cost you anything. We do have something on there if you'd like to join us on the podcast. It'd be $5. Throw us $5. What the hell is $5? What are you getting? Like a quarter of a Sugar Dale in a baseball game for $5?
Half a gallon of gas?
Half gallon. Right. All right. So please share it with your friends. And thank you for getting in the chat. Thank you for listening and everything. And Raw Doggers out.